Hello, Base Fam. My name is Justin Taylor. Most of you know me from my X profile, Decentral Bros. I've been building on Base since the day they went live in August 9th, 2023. I actually met Coinbase before they went live, building at Denver in 2023. And today we'll be talking about our Base Builder Batches 002 submission. Today I want to show you something that combines my passion for DeFi, a cause that matters, HopeChain, transparent giving, real healing. Let's dive in. Here. Welcome to HopeChain, dApp/mini app. There's two different modes you can go to. There's light mode, and of course there is dark mode. I'm a dark mode guy, so I'm going to go ahead and switch this to dark mode as we go through it. We can see that this is our hero up here that kind of lays everything out. So transparent giving, real healing. Every USDC donation earns yield in a secured Morpho vault. Creating an ever-growing fund for the cancer patients. 100% of the donations go directly to the patients, no middleman, no hidden fees, and fully on-chain. Built on Base, 100% transparent and DeFi powered. It's pretty simple how HopeChain works. You donate USDC, it earns a yield, it will grow that vault, and you will help patients. Awesome. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. Live transparency dashboard, real-time metrics showing the impact of your donations. And if we go ahead and hover over this first one with the tooltip, we'll see total USDC donations received across all campaigns, yield earned. This will be interest earned across the Morpho vaults from the investments. And over here we have the vault total. This will be the value held in the Morpho vault, so donations plus yield. We have our Hope Givers, number of unique donors who have contributed, and here will be the number of patients who receive financial assistance when we release funds to those patients. This number will increase. All right, let's take a look at what's next. Down here we have our Hope Givers, so recognizing our most generous donors for every USDC they've donated and given and the lives they changed. There's 3 different tiers ranging from silver to gold to diamond. All right, let's scroll down and take a look at the next section here. It's just an explainer. Go ahead and take a read on this here. It's fighting back against medical bureaucracy. So no insurance barriers, 100% transparent and sustainable growth. Awesome. And if we scroll down a little bit more, why HopeChain exists in honor of my grandfather. Here's my personal story here about my experience with my grandfather and his battle against prostate cancer and the hoops and really just crazy, chaotic things we went through. It's very sad. Rest in peace, Grandpa. Love you. If we scroll down here, funding the future of cancer treatments, we can see like our goals ultimately as well would be to invest in the right areas for research funding, real scientists, and cure developments. And down here, we're hoping to get some really great trusted partners, partnering with Morpho Protocol, Coinbase, Base Network. Of course, this is a mini app, right? So we have it in the Base app and in Farcaster, built on Base. And you can see built by us here at Decentral Bros, our website, and our X. All right, now we're going to go ahead and connect our wallet. And on desktop, this supports the Rainbow Kit. The Rainbow Kit does support now the Base account, MetaMask, and a few other wallets we'll put in there with Coinbase and so forth. In this use case, I'm going to use MetaMask on testnet for Base Sepolia, chain ID 84532. So let's go ahead and connect my MetaMask wallet. And when I connect my MetaMask wallet, if I do have an ENS name, it will display my ENS name. If I'm connecting with my Base account or through the mini apps, it will display my Base name. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the donate tab here, and we can see my USDC balance, my total donated, the total raised, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say I'm going to do a $250 investment, and with this I'm going to hit donate, and we can see that we are going to approve this transaction here for $250. And the approval went through. It'll pop back up, and I'm going to confirm my donation. And there we go. My total donated. Woo! I donated. I'm making a difference. All right, now that I donated, if I scroll down, we'll have a top donor section showing all of the top donors here. And if we look up at the top, this is my address here, ending this D516 for 250. And we can see your donations are secured, so encrypted and secured, 100% transparent, and instant processing. So if I actually look at my wallet and I go to the NFTs, there it is. Look at that. I got my SBT badge with evolving metadata, and the API is tied directly in to our front end. So we're only pulling the image from IPFS. All of the metadata comes directly through an API to the Next.js on REST. And essentially, if I was to donate more and again, my metadata would evolve. And we'll go through that and I'll show you that as well. From the front end API, I'm just going to grab this link here, open up a new tab, slap it in, and at the end of this /, I'm just going to do API / metadata, and I'm going to do one more / here, and I'm just going to grab my address that I used to donate, put it at the end here, and hit enter. And look at that. We got our HopeChain donor badge number 7 and the description, and we can see here my last donation and that value of that last donation, right? So we can actually see the dates, everything that's in here. So as we're looking at this and I go back and I donate another $50, that will go up and this date will change. Okay, so if I go and take a look at that now, I'm going to go ahead and go back and I'm going to do, let's say 500. This should put me in that gold range as well. So when I level up on this NFT for the metadata, and I will get my gold badge because I went past a $500 value of a donation. There we go, fantastic. There it is, 750. Okay, I'll go back here and I will just refresh and we'll take a look at this, and there we go. You see that? There is, oh, let's take a look. I think it's, there it goes. All right, $750, look at that. So the metadata changed, the value. We can see how many donations within the metadata, 2, and my last donation. Okay, so if I actually go back now and I go to the profile page, I can scroll down and bam, all right, got my gold. Why? Because I think right now I have it set for anything from $1 to $499 is silver tier. Anything from $500 to $999 is a gold tier, and anything from $1,000 and above is a platinum tier. So if I scroll down here, I can actually see it as well too, right? I can see my progress until I reach this champion platinum tier. So I know that how much I've donated. If I scroll down a little bit more, my recent donations, which I can just click and view on Basescan down here, and I can see my monthly breakdown as well. Now, if I actually do scroll up and I say view on Basescan, it'll take you directly to your SBT donor badge and all of the info or anything you want to see on it, on-chain and on-chain verifiable proof. Awesome. So now, if we just kind of go back, there is a impact page. Right now on the impact page, these are just, because everything's on testnet right now. So right now these are just mock data, but when we do help real patients and we will show their funding, we'll show who they are, their name, what they're battling, and show that they've been funded and give the on-chain proof. Now, if we actually go up and hit the apply tab, again, this is on testnet. So currently right here, you can apply for treatment and funding, and it's a pretty simple form with about 4 steps here, just your information. If I hit next, we'll see medical information, the treatment types, and the estimated treatment cost to the insurance coverage amounts. Hit the next one here, where I can upload medical records and proofs, my treating doctor's email, phone numbers, and hit here and get their personal statement and emergency contact information and submit the application, which will be sent directly to us and our team, and we'll review these applications in depth and get back to the patient and confirm all the information is valid, and we will get them funded. Now, to demonstrate again the changing of the metadata on my SBT badge, I'm going to go ahead and hit this platinum tier by hitting $1,000 when I donate. So I'm going to do another 500 here. Let's confirm this transaction. Fantastic. Awesome. Now if I scroll down, oh, look at that, right? I'm at the top of the list because I'm the top donor right now. And if I go and look at the metadata, that should have processed now. I just got the second confirmation on my computer as you hear the ding. Let's refresh this, and this value from 750 should change. There it goes, right? Bam. Yeah, that exact value. Now, if I go back to the profile page, I should be in the platinum status. So we see my total donated 3, and I am. Oh, I'm sorry, diamond. Diamond. See, I keep saying platinum. I don't know why I keep saying platinum, but it's diamond. I'm sorry about that. There we go, right? Fantastic. Now I can see all my donations, and I can see my monthly breakdowns again. Now, if I go back to the home page, on the home page, all of the other data should be updated. And it is 4,600, right? So now that's the entire total. And now with me as the additional donor, it went from 6 to 7. Okay, now I am going to use the owner wallet of the mock Morpho contract and just simulate a yield earning on this total donated. So we should see this yield earn increase from the amount of 4,600 that's sitting in here, which will ultimately take these two together and give this volt total in value. And if we look down here, there I am on the top donor list. All right, so let's go ahead and simulate this yield based on the growing amount that has been donated. All right, so now I am logged in on my Mac computer with the MetaMask test wallet that owns the mock Morpho contract on Sepolia.Basescan, and I'm going to simulate the yield amount of the new total. So I'm going to simulate just a example of, let's say it earned $250 in yield. So I'm going to go ahead on my Mac computer. And I know you can't see the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and write this. And here we go. And we should see it change right here as it simulated a yield based on the total donated. There it goes, right? Now we got 600. So it has earned $600 on this 4,600, giving us a total of $5,200. Just so we can see here on chain, as I was sitting here on the site, I went to view on Basescan to see the transaction, so we can see that these transactions are actually happening on testnet right now, and it is not some server mock data. It is 3 contracts, 1 donation vault contract, the SBT NFT contract, and the mock Morpho contract. And we can see them all communicating with each other here to be transferred to the SBT, and then down from here to the mock Morpho. And there is my badge, right? So if I click my badge, it takes me to the same place as if I was up here and hit on my profile with my connected wallet, and I go to view on Basescan, and there we go. So I just wanted to show here in this video demonstration that this is all truly happening on chain right now on testnet using a USDC testnet version that we made just so we can have a little bit more access to our own funds, which is that's why I have a ridiculous amount right now of $3 million. So no, I do not have $3 million of actual USDC. I just minted myself around $5 million for testing purposes, and so that way I can do true yield simulations and give actual values and push this to the brink of testing and trying to break and just make sure everything is working exactly as planned. And as we can see here from our GitHub, of course it's open source code. So on my personal profile, we have the HopeChain code, everything from the front end being Next.js to React, TypeScript, We have our hard hats for our scaffold and everything we're using in there for our contracts. And we can kind of scroll down and pretty detailed readmes of HopeChain and transparent giving, the overview of everything that is happening on the site and that we reviewed in the previous videos. Everything down to the smart contracts and the networks and the prerequisites. Yep. So if we kind of just scroll down here, I know it's documentation. A lot of people think it's boring, but I enjoy reading documentation. That's why I read base docs at least an hour every single day, because when I go click on them, they are always changing. And that's good, because that just means we're growing. Here in this demonstration, as you can see, pre-recorded, because I was testing for my phone, I will open up the base app, and then we can see here in the mini apps, there's HopeChain. I'll select HopeChain, and this demonstration is to show that there is my base name showing, right? So base name, the UI, UX, very seamless and smooth here throughout the mini app. And this mini app works on Farcaster and base app. And if we click the profile icon on the top right, you can see that it does pull all of the context data from your profile from your Farcaster or your base app. And we have our theme toggle within there, so you can toggle back and forth between the light mode and the dark mode with your choice of preference. So one of the problems that I've seen as my experience with my story here, my grandfather, if you want to enjoy a very heartwarming, great story, I tried to keep it pretty short here. I probably could have wrote you a book, but this is my story and why I decided to build HopeChain. So mainly, fighting back against the medical bureaucracy. So like traditional insurance companies, they do dictate pretty much like what treatments you can receive, and often denying experimental or alternative therapies that could save lives. Well, with HopeChain, we're hoping to change that by empowering the patients with unrestricted access to funds. So for their treatments that they want to choose, and every transaction is transparent. So every dollar earns a yield, and every patient gets care that they deserve, not what the insurance company decides, right? It's one of the biggest battles I went through with my grandfather and the insurance companies. And insurance companies, he's paid pretty much his entire life, and he makes one comment as a dying man on the phone, just a little bit in and out of it from all the medication. And we battled them for 2 weeks of them saying, oh, but that violates our policy, so we might not be able to continue insuring him. And that's very sad, and it just made me extremely depressed to hear that. And we battled them, and luckily we got to keep it and see it through till his end. But the fact that they would just kind of pull that just shows the lack of connection or help that they truly want to give just by a recorded call or a comment you can make from a dying man who's been pumped with tons of meds and is not really 100% coherent of what he's saying, and is kind of like in a corner, throwing punches, fighting for his life. So one of the other problems that charities really have is a lack of transparency. They have high overhead costs. CEOs of these charities are living in nice homes and driving around nice cars. And the donations, they don't grow over time. So cancer patients, or even cancer patients after they're gone, their families suffer from the cost that usually are incurred with these. And they need something sustainable and for long-term funding. And as somebody who's experienced it, it still affects our family to this day. And so HopeChain solves this by combining blockchain transparency with DeFi yield generations, leveraging amazing, great new tech like Morpho to generate, DeFi yield generations. And every dollar earns interest, creating a ever-growing fund for patients. And I know a lot of people like to support other, like St. Jude's Hospital or certain things. I've had friends that donate every single week to certain hospitals like that. They don't know where their money is going or what it's doing, but they want to help in that cause. Well, here, people can actually donate, get the tax incentives, have the transparency, and seeing exactly where their money went, who they helped, and see the stories, even from the impact statements. So on the impact statement page, we plan on putting on here as well how HopeChain impacted this patient, and how it helped them, and how it helped them seek ways to get better, or maybe the experimental procedure they tried that helped save their life. Now, the architectural overview here of how this essentially works: there's no back-end database. It is strictly a front end with built-in Next.js and React, lots of other great tech I'm not going to bore you with. Morpho protocol, smart contracts, and to really ensure the transparency and the dynamic SBTs that reward donors, tax incentives, write-offs, however they want to use it, or maybe they just want to have the badge to say that they donated and they helped and they changed somebody's lives. They helped them find a cure, get better, help them actually get help, so maybe they didn't have any insurance at all, and now that they're sick, they're being denied coverage. So they help them actually be able to get into one of these hospitals or whatever treatment they decide to choose. We won't dictate anything on that. It's not our choice. Our whole objective here is to give people the funding, access to this, and using the tech and everything in the architecture that we have currently on chain with Coinbase, Morpho, the Base app, Farcaster, having companies like Coinbase and others that can donate into this pool to earn the yields, Web 2 companies. I mean, everything. It's not about just decentralized and DeFi. The whole goal and making it so easy to onboard and everything here as well, with quick wallet connections, you leveraging the Coinbase SDKs for account abstraction for the Base apps. With just a few clicks, they create wallets, and there we go, right? And as this does make it to mainnet in production for the architecture, I really plan on leveraging the Coinbase docs for debit card purchases, right? We do have mini apps already out there that we build for some of our other stuff in our staking, and I think we have over 6 or 8 mini apps currently out there, and they do incorporate the buy option, right? You can buy USDC with your debit or credit card using just the SDKs from Coinbase. So we don't have to jump through all the hoops and the battles of dealing with Stripe or credit card merchants shutting the sites down. This is 100% just a front end that runs on that is being ran on Vercel, and it has just a few different built-in APIs for REST APIs that Next offers. And we have hard hat for smart contracts, and the smart contracts are communicating to the front end, and the front end is communicating to the smart contracts. So there's no back end that we can manipulate or change for within our favor, or to produce false data. And this is our ultimate goal here, is to allow people everywhere to truly see their donations and their money helping people. HopeChain provides that DeFi that can create real-world impacts. So communities can join, builders, donors, patients working together to fund a future for cancer treatment, patients that can get the funding that they need, and donors can get these dynamic SBT badges, create engagements. I truly believe that we can change the future of charitable giving and helping by leveraging all the amazing tech that we currently have, that is being brought out by all these great companies, and that we're constantly pushing the boundaries for. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of our base batch build presentation here for HopeChain, which gives transparent giving and real healing on chain, leveraging Coinbase and Morpho and all the great tech we have out there. Again, this is HopeChain, and let's start making a difference together. Thank you.